Hare Krishna, dear devotees and friends. So, first of all, on behalf of this ISKCON Bhakti Yoga Center Ipoh, and also collaboration with Mastermind Coaching, we would like to invite, we would like to welcome all of you for today's topic. All right, today's topic. So today's topic is we're going to speak on this what they call the diet. Know what you eat, all right? Know what you eat, the food that's going to kill you or the food that's going to liberate you. This is something which is very vital that people nowadays, I mean, they know, but they don't know the impact. Okay. So for that reason, it's my good fortune that I know this Dr. Vira Pariksit. He's from Sarawak. Okay. Just to say about brief about him. He is actually a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami, and also and he's hometown from Merbau Pulas, Kedah. Okay, so I have seen so many of his sharing, especially in his status talking about food, the food in
Krishna Prabhu. Just sorry for interrupting. That's a different Pariksit Prabhu.
Oh, that is different Pariksit. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Vira Pariksit Prabhu is from Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm so sorry for that, Prabhu.
Okay, both of us are working in the same place, Kuching and so on, but he's Vira Pariksit.
Oh, okay.
He's from KL, yes.
I see. Okay. That's surprising. Okay, anyway, so Dr. Pariksit, he's working in this with this what they call a primary care medical officer, currently serving in Kuching, Sarawak. Okay, so especially I've seen many of his sharing, especially on the food. Okay, the food is actually the primary source for existence, right? And of course, in Bhagavad Gita also we study, all right, we study that there is a food in the mode of goodness, the food in mode of passion, and the food in mode of ignorance, and of course the consequences of eating the wrong food. Okay, the wrong food. Sometimes we think that, oh, I'm eating healthy, but actually how healthy is your food? Okay, so today it's going to be a series. All right, this is going to be a series of training. So today is the first series. Dr. Pariksit will be sharing on meat eating. Then subsequently, we're going to have a more series on, and from here, we will evolve with varieties of all kind of what they call diet that we should practice. So without further delay, so I would like to welcome Dr. Pariksit. Oh, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
And by the way, Prabhu, your name is just Pariksit, is it?
Vira Pariksit Das. Vira Pariksit Das.
And just now, the name I mentioned was?
No, correct. Name is correct, Prabhu. Only the location.
Both of you got the same name.
Yeah, we shared the same name.
And same, both of you are doctors.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's what a coincidence.
So, Prabhu is from Kedah. So, yeah, no problem, Prabhu. Sorry?
Your hometown?
I'm from Ampang.
Ampang. Oh, yeah. I see. Okay. Sorry for the mistake.
No problem, Prabhu. No problem. So, Hare Krishna, Prabhus and Matajis. Please accept my humble obeisances. So, we can begin now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vikas Swami Namane. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Hare Krishna, Prabhus and Matajis. So, today we're going to speak. I was instructed by Patitarana Prabhu to speak on something on food, right? So, okay, Prabhu, can you allow me to share the screen? I can't share my screen.
Oh, sure, Prabhu. I think it's by default. Oh, yes. Okay. Right. Okay, now you can do it, Prabhu.
Now I can. All right. So, let me share my screen first. Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Screen terida, Prabhu. Can you see my screen?
No, Prabhu.
How about now?
I think you have not shared screen yet.
Okay. Again, I will share.
Okay.
Okay, you can see my slide, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So, Hare Krishna. So, yes. So, I was instructed by Prabhu to discuss on the food that guarantees to kill versus the food that guarantees to liberate you, right? So we're going to see on that, right? So what is the food? So from the title itself, we can see there's a discrimination, some discrimination. So we can understand there's some food which is beneficial for us and there's some food which is harmful for us, right? So we're going to see that. And Prabhu have used a very technical term here, liberate, right? So, in fact, liberate means we have to study the Bhagavad Gita as it is to understand the real meaning of liberation. So before we jump into liberation, first I'm going to establish what is the food that is fit for human consumption, right? Then we can discuss on the food that liberates you, right? So basically today we're going to discuss on the food that harmful to you, right? And also we're going to see what is the food exactly a human being should take, right? So before we dive deep into our topic, let us look as an introduction, let us look the ways to acquire knowledge, right? So basically any knowledge can be acquired through this method. So what is the method? First, pratyaksha pramana. So what is this pratyaksha pramana? So don't worry, this is a Sanskrit word. Pramana means evidence or method to acquire knowledge, any knowledge, and pratyaksha, right? So what is the meaning pratyaksha? Aksha means eyes, or to see, right? In Madurai, we have Madurai Meenakshi, right? So Madurai Meenakshi, Akshi means eyes. So Meena means fish, so whose eyes are beautiful like fish. So like that here, pratyaksha means we gain knowledge or evidence through our senses, right? Seeing, touching, hearing, tasting. So this is meaning of pratyaksha pramana. Just like in our school, we hear from the lecturer, from the teachers. So this is pratyaksha. Just like the medical science, they conduct experiment, right? The scientific method. The first is observation. It's called pratyaksha. Okay, then anumana. So anumana means based on your pratyaksha, based on your observation, your senses, you come up with a logical inference. So this is called anumana. Is that clear? Simple, right? So pratyaksha means direct perception using our senses, and anumana means based on our senses, we come up with an inference, logical reasoning. So example, like our medical science, scientific method begin with observation, and then we do inference, we plan an experiment, right? Then we come up with an inference hypothesis, then we come to the conclusion. So all these things are based on observation and logical inference. So that is what we call pratyaksha pramana and anumana pramana, right? So this is nothing new. All these scientific method are nothing new. It's already very detailedly explained in our Shastra, our Vedic scripture. And finally, it is Shabda Pramana. What is this Shabda Pramana? So Pramana means we know evidence, way to gain knowledge. So what is the way? Shabda. Shabda means we gain knowledge through hearing from the perfect source, right? So that is the meaning of Shabda. Is there any perfect source? Yes, it is. Our scriptures, it is perfect. It's coming from the Supreme Person. Therefore, it is perfect, right? So pratyaksha and anumana, examples like medical science, research, journals, scientific methods. So all these things are limited knowledge because our senses are limited. So today, I'm going to compare analysis from all angles, right? From all ways, all views, from medical science and also from Shastra. Pratyaksha, anumana, and also Shabda, right? So let's go into our topic. Okay, yeah, before we begin, I just like to share something. Yeah, so whatever I spoke just now regarding these pramanas, the way to gain knowledge, is already described very nicely in the Shastra, in the Vedic scripture. It is called Vedic epistemology, right? So logy means to study, epistemology means study of knowledge. So all these scientific methods are nothing new, right? if you're all interested on this, we can have another session. It's another 1 to 2 hour session on Vedic epistemology. Right. So let's go into our topic today. So today we are going to speak about food. Right. So we're going to see what is the food suitable for human consumption. So we're going to see from the eyes of Pratyaksha and Anumana. So what is Pratyaksha and Anumana? Basically from the scientific method, from the medical science, right? So first of all, let us see on anatomy and physiology of the human being. So what is anatomy? Anatomy means our structure, body structure. And what is physiology? Physiology means the function of the body. Simple as that. Okay. So I hope everyone can see the picture, the picture and comparative graph here. The comparative anatomy in mammalian species. Okay, first, let us compare, right? Let us compare. If you look into the picture, first of all, we are comparing carnivore, omnivore, herbivore, frugivore, and human being, right? So, we don't need to see all these things which is written, just see the picture. So, what we call this? Pratyaksha, simply by observing, right? That is called Pratyaksha. Simply by using your senses, we can understand immediately what is the similarities. If I ask you to tick the similarities, what are you going to tick? Human being, frugivore, herbivore is the same. Omnivore and carnivore is not same. So yeah, we are done. Simply by observing, we can understand. We share the similarities between plant eating animals, fruits eating animals. We share the same anatomy, right? Whereas you see the carnivores and omnivores, they are different anatomically even by just looking at the mouth, teeth structure. So yes, let's see one by one. Okay, I'll just highlight the important one because we don't have much time, to go everything. But yeah, we see what is the important things here. Okay, so you see here, let's see the brain chemistry, right? The brain chemistry here. The meat-eating animals, they are fueled by fats and protein. That means their brain needs fats and protein to work. But let's look at the brains of the herbivore, frugivore, and human beings. It needs glucose, right? Glycogen will be converted into glucose in the brain, right? So the glucose is a food for the brain, right? So we need glucose. And then you see the vision, right? The meat-eating animals, they don't see in full color scale. You know why? Do you know what's the reason? Because all the meats are same. All the meats are same. So they don't need any color vision. But for us, we need color vision because there are different kinds of vegetables, fruits, right? So the meat, when you tear it, it's the same thing, blood, muscles, right? So even the vision is different, the brain chemistry is different. And let's look into the mouth opening. All these meat-eating animals, they have very large mouth. So whereas we human being have a small mouth, same with herbivore and frugivore, right? And then we can see the jaw motion. Okay, I skip it, the jaw motion and mastication. And that means the way we chew our food. So how do we chew our food? We need to chew very nicely. We need lateral motion will be there when we chewing, right? But if you see the meat-eating animal, they don't really chew, but they simply tear it and they swallow. There's no lateral or forward mobility for chewing, right? So the reason is because we have food rich in carbohydrates, vegetables, all these things. So we need to digest in the mouth itself, carbohydrate, amylase. The enzyme is secreted to digest carbohydrates first. But animal, they don't eat carbohydrate. The meat-eating animals simply eat only meat. Therefore, they don't need all this chewing, right? So there's no need of chewing. But because we are taking plant-based, there's cellulose, right? There's cellulose, there's a lot of plant matters. So we need to extensively chew, right? So we can see simply by comparing anatomically, we share the same similarities between herbivore, frugivore, and human, right? Even you see the teeth, very important point, right? Nowadays, these people argue, I'm eating meat because I have canine teeth. Hello, please look into the canine teeth. Is there a difference or not? How is the canine teeth of the tiger, the lion, and also the human being? Vast different, totally different. They have a very long, sharp, curved fang. And how about our canine? It is very dull, rudimentary. It's very dull and short, right? So that is how our canine, right, is blunted. So it is not fit to tear meat, right? So same, all these canine teeth, molar teeth, incisors are all flattened. There's no any sharp pointed, no long pointed, right? And another interesting point we can see is a tongue. You see the tongue of the meat eating animal, it is very rough, right? Let's say if a tiger is going to lick your skin, you know, the epidermis layer, the superficial layer of the skin is gone. That is how sharp is the tongue of a tiger or lion, a meat eating animal. But if you compare the tongues of a human being, if you compare the tongues of the human being, it is very short. I'm sorry, it is very smooth, right? It is very smooth, you know, and also same goes to the herbivore and frugivore. So, and if you compare the salivary chemistry, you know, it begins with acidity. So the digestive system of the carnivores and omnivores begins with mouth, and immediately there is a acidic environment. But our enzyme begin in the mouth is alkaline, amylase, digest carbohydrate, grains, you know, and they need acidic. You know why? Because meat have high in protein and lot of microorganism they need to kill, right? So this is the reason. And even if you see the salivary enzyme, as I said, the enzyme, the saliva, they got no carb digesting enzyme, you know. They only have lysosome. What is lysosome? Any biological student will know. Lysosome is an enzyme to digest what? Protein, right? And how about us? Do we have lysosome in the mouth? No. Because first of all, we are not fit to eat meat, right? Because according to the comparative anatomy, it's all evidence supports human beings are fit to eat vegetable, plant-based diet, right? So in our enzyme, they are carb digesting enzyme, right? So like that, we can continue seeing. If you see the stomach capacity, right? If it is stomach capacity, the meat-eating animals, they have 60 to 70% of the total volume. You know, it's huge, they can take. But human beings, they only can take 20 to 27%. Same like the herbivores. Why? Because to consume a meat, you need to engulf animal. It's so huge. But we are eating all plant-based diet. So it's all very small, you know, we just can just take it. So that's the reason why they have a very large volume of digestive tract and we have very less volume, right? And please look into the stomach acidity. The carnivores, they have a very acidic environment in the stomach. Hydrochloric acid, 1, simply can kill bacteria, virus, microorganisms, and even digest protein. How about our stomach? Our stomach, if we take raw meat, you will end up in the hospital. Right? Our stomach, if you take raw meat, what happened? End up in hospital because the pH is only 4 to 5, not fit to kill all the microbes. Right? So, and another important point, you see, our small intestine require peristaltic movement. What is peristaltic movement? Basically, peristaltic means it is a movement of the intestine, you know. So in order to our intestine to move, to bring all the food all the way from our small intestine to large intestine and evacuate to our rectum, we need fiber, right? So fiber stimulate the movement of our colons, right? But you see, the animals, they doesn't require fiber. They are natural meat eater. By simply taking meat, they can excrete, no problem. They can simply move their colon, right? But how about our stomach, our intestine? If you never take fiber, you will end up, you'll die. You know why? Because there's no fiber. What happened? You will constipate it, and there's an intestinal obstruction, and you will die. So can you say no? If someone say that I am a meat eater, you know, we are omnivores. First of all, we are challenging. Try to take only meat. Don't take plant. What will happen to you? You will die. But if you only take plant, can you live healthy? Yes. So this is the evidence that we are natural, plant-based our diet is natural plant-based, not meat. Right? So if you see the length of a small intestine, the length of a omnivores and carnivores are 3 times the body length, right? Which means what? Very short. And the human being's length of small intestine is 9 times, is longer. You see, like, the herbivores are longer, 20 times. Why? Why it is longer? Can anyone answer me why it is longer? The reason is because, when the meat-eating animal, the nature of created in a way that they don't want the meat to be decomposed, to root inside the stomach. Therefore, it need to be digested fast. You need to move very fast. But for our anatomy, we need to slowly digest, absorb the nutrition, glucose, microminerals, microvitamins, all these things. So it is very long. And our food is naturally should be plant-based. So it is very long. Right? That's a different. So we are not even fit to take meat. Our intestine is arranged in a way that it is not to fit to consume meat. Right? If you see the colon length, as I said, short, long, right? And you see the colon chemistry is very important. Alkaline, right? It's alkaline, but ours are acidic. Totally different, right? Most important point here, you see the liver. The liver of a meat-eating animal is complex with 5 distinct chambers, and they are very huge, 50% larger. How about our liver? Our liver is quite small on our right side of the abdomen. So why their liver is very huge? Because they can digest huge amount of protein. Right? If we consume huge amount of protein, we'll end up with kidney failure, renal failure, and also all other problems. Later we will see. So even our liver are not fit to take a lot of meat protein. And look into the bile flow. The flow of our meat-eating animals are quite good, heavy, right? If you compare the human beings, the bile is very weak. Bile is needed to digest the proteins, to digest the food. So basically, you see, the meat-eating animal require a lot of bile to digest the proteins. So they are natural meat eaters. We are not. Our bile is weak. That is why when we take a lot of animal protein, what do we get? We get all these liver problems, gallstones, all these things, right? So if you look into the vitamin A detoxification, the liver of the animal, meat-eating animal, they can metabolize a lot of vitamin A. You know why? Because meat have a lot of vitamin A, high in vitamin A. But for us, we can only metabolize smaller amount. If you exceed your vitamin A, you can get toxicity of vitamin A. And there's another problem, right? So we can see cholesterol. You see, the metabolism of cholesterol in the meat-eating animal, they can metabolize very large amount because meat is high in cholesterol. But if you see human beings metabolizing cholesterol, they only can metabolize phytosterol. What is phytosterol? It is coming from plant. Phytosterol means which is coming from plant. In fact, phytosterols is good for us. It helps to reduce our blood pressures, reduce the incidence of heart attacks, and balance the good cholesterol. So this is important of phytosterols we getting through plant-based diet. Right? So if you take meat-based diet, what happens? There will be cholesterol, animal cholesterol, and it's very difficult for us to digest. Right? So that's why we are not fit to take meat. Okay, another important point. You see, uric acid. Right? What is this uric acid? Uric acid is an enzyme, right? Uric acid is an enzyme. So you see, all their kidneys, their renal secretions, they secrete uric acid, right? And if you see here, the human beings and the plant-eating animals, they don't secrete uric acid. You know what is uric acid? Uric acid is to digest the uric acid. Okay, so meat have high content of uric acid. Okay, so when we consume a lot of uric acid, what happens? We have gouty arthritis. The uric acid will be accumulated in the joints and cause swelling and pain. So therefore, there is a medical condition known as gouty arthritis. Right? So you see, that's why human being, what is the cause? What's the treatment for this problem? Gout? Please don't take meat, seafood, red meat. Then your gout will solved. Right? So naturally we are not fit to take meat. But you see the animals, they have this enzyme to digest this uric acid, to decompose, to break down this uric acid. And it will be excreted in the urine. So like that, we can see the digestion time. Human beings taking longer time to digest, right? But the meat eating animal, they take very fast because they don't want the meat to be decomposed inside, rooted inside. They need to be eliminated very fast. This is the reason. So even in all anatomical way, we can see, even their limbs, we don't have very sharp claws, right? But the meat eating animal has it, right? So like, all these things, we can see sharp claws, but our nails are flattened. We can't even kill any animal using our body, right? So if you see, simply comparing the anatomy of carnivores, omnivores, herbivores, and human, then we can come to the conclusion, right? We can come to the conclusion that we fit on the category of what? What is our best diet? Plant-based diet. Right? So this is nature, our anatomy is our nature. So our structure is meant naturally to only, take plant-based diet. That's where our body will function at the best. So when you take meat, what happens? Your body will have problem. Okay, I think Prabhu, please mute all the audience. Thank you. Yes. So
Yes, Prabhu.
yes. Okay. So okay. Next. So another very interesting question. We see people always say it, I have canine teeth, so I can eat meat. Yeah, I'm going to re-establish again. You see, can you compare the canine teeth of the tiger? It's very long and sharp. Can you see our canine teeth? Is there different? Right? You know why I'm highlighting this? Because there are many so-called preachers or many pro meat eating activists. They are coming up with an argument. God have created us with canine teeth, therefore we should take meat, right? Isn't it? The logic, they say we have canine teeth, so we have to take meat. It's actually illogical. First of all, our canine teeth is totally different than the lion, right? And if you're going to say just because you have canine teeth you have to take meat, then I'm proposing a challenge. You see here, hippopotamus has a very large canine teeth, but it is herbivore. So it doesn't mean all canine you have to take meat, right? Hippopotamus has a large canine teeth and it's not taking any meat. You see this deer, it has a very sharp pointed canine teeth, longer than us. Then according to your logic, God must make this deer to eat meat. But still, this is a herbivore. This deer don't take meat, right? Even camel have canine teeth, but they don't take meat. So first of all, we should understand, just because you have some canine teeth, that doesn't make you a meat eater. Okay? We have to see, analyze properly. Just now, we have seen our anatomy, physiology. It supports plant-based diet, right? So your canine teeth doesn't make you a meat eater, right? So please know this, okay? Because many so-called, so-called scientifically advanced people, or so-called, who are taking evidence from science, they think that, I'm very scientific. I have canine, so I can eat meat. So that's wrong. Okay. So next we're going to see. So eating red meat daily triplets heart disease related chemicals. So this is from NIH research. So it's a very important research. If done by it's a very famous website, Journals for Doctors. NIH research. So National Institute of Health. So we can see here, they are telling us that by eating meat, you will have increased risk of cardiovascular disease, heart attack, and then stroke, right? So again, you see here, red and processed meat and cancer risk. Not only a heart attack, you'll have another bonus, which you might have a cancer. Strong evidence that processed meat cause what? Bowel cancer. So what is the example? Red meat, beef, lamb, pork, goat, kangaroo. This is is by Australian Cancer Council, right? So this is the evidence from science. This is the Pratyaksha Anumana. It's not even supporting even an inch that we should take animal. No, we should take meat. No, it's totally supporting that we should not take meat. Have you seen any doctor come and tell you, please don't take vegetable, don't take green vegetable, don't take fruits? No, they are telling, please don't take meat, please reduce. So these are the proper health educators, right? Right. So now another interesting point I'd like to share. What is this? Sambar. So previously we have seen red meat cause cancer. And interestingly, these white people, they have interest in sambar. So they analyze sambar. And they find out sambar actually prevent colon cancer. Interesting, right? It's a very well-known journal, PubMed is a very well-known website for medical doctors, So there are many journals and research done. And interestingly, they have done a research on sambar. And they have come out that sambar protects you from colon cancer. And sambar is our Vedic diet. இதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் புதுசு இல்லை. நம்ம எப்பயோ பல காலமாக நம்ம இதெல்லாம் சாப்பிட்டுட்டு தான் வரோம். Plant-based diet. So in Shastra also, Krishna mentioned this. We will see later. Right? So why actually prevent colon cancer? Because the sambar have antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, immunomodulatory spices, which must be related to prevention and treatment of several cancer, including colon. So all these anti-inflammatory, antioxidant are very important in taking care of our body, our heart, our lungs, okay, and also our colon. So what makes this sambar so special? Because Indian spices are rich in what? This sambar includes coriander seed, fenugreek, turmeric, ginger, black pepper, curry leaf, cumin, asafoetida. So in fact, they said sambar powder as anti-tumorigenic. What is that? Anti-tumorigenic means it's against cancer, against tumor. You see, not only one research, there are multiple research. Okay, I am showing you this evidence. So, இப்போதான் இவங்க கண்டுபிடிக்கிறாங்க சாம்பார் சாப்பிடுங்க, இட்லி சாப்பிடுங்க, சைவமா சாப்பிடுங்க. Now only telling, it's nothing new for us, right? So anyway, I'm presenting Pratyaksha Anumana. So we see medical science. Even medical science are telling, don't take meat. Clear enough, right? Are you all convinced? If still not convinced, we can go further. You see here, red meat, processed meat hikes the heart disease, hikes the risk of death. You are inviting Yamadutas faster, please come, please come. So this is the problem of meat eating, right? Another study from the Lancet Oncology. Oncology means the department of cancer. They study only on cancer, and what they said, carcinogenicity of consumption of red and processed meat. So when you take meat, what happens? Your increased risk of getting cancer, colon cancer, commonly colon cancer. Have you seen any study? Taking red carrot cause cancer? No. Taking green vegetable cause heart attack? No. So this is the evidence. Okay. So I'm showing you all from a very high level of evidence, right? It is from all the, valid resource, from all the top journals, right? Not simply any speculations or any forwarded message, right? Okay, next. Again, we see Science Daily, right? Meat consumption raises mortality rates more than analysis of more than 1.5 million people finds. So basically what they are telling, death rate is higher. Your mortality rate is higher when you take meat, right? So this is a study by American Osteopathic Association from the white people. Association of processed meat, unprocessed red meat, poultry and fish intake with incidence of cardiovascular disease and all cause mortality. That means this is from JAMA, JAMA Internal Medicine. It's a very important JAMA. So American Medical Association, Journals of American Medical Association is one of the very important reference for doctors. So what they said, when you take meat, you will die faster. Simple terms. When you take meat, you're inviting death. Okay. And from Jaha, now just now we see Jama, now Jaha, Journal of American Heart Association. So Jaha, what Jaha says? Jaha says plant-based diets are associated with lower risk of incident of cardiovascular disease mortality in a general population of middle-aged adults. So what they are telling, when you're taking plant-based diet, you have lower risk of getting heart attack, hyperlipidemia, stroke. Suddenly every Deepavali night we'll have admission in emergency. We'll get one heart attack case, sure have one heart attack or one stroke on Deepavali night, Christmas night, because of this meat, bunch eating of meat. So all these things are increasing the risk of cardiovascular disease, heart problems. Okay. So now we have seen anatomically, physiologically, we should be vegetarian. We should not take meat. Our anatomy and physiology doesn't support meat eating, right? And even from all the journals, we see by taking meat, we are getting disease, all problem. Okay, let's see nutrition, because I have heard many people say, vegetarian, they don't enough protein. Vegetarian means no protein. I have a mother who told, this boy was attending our daily ISKCON program. So this mother was very worried. I'm afraid my child doesn't have any strength. By becoming vegetarian, they become like vegetable. So they think by becoming vegetarian, become vegetable, very weak. No. What is the strongest animal? Elephant, and it is vegetarian. Herbivore, right? So first of all, we must see what is your requirement, what is your body naturally wants, what your body works at best when you feed. So when you feed something which is suitable for the body, it works the best. Just like a car, a petrol car, you're going to put diesel. Even you put the most expensive diesel, it's going to damage the engine. Same. So you must see first, your body is made to eat plant-based. So you're going to put meat, what happens? Your body is going to be destroyed. Right? And all this myth, my child won't have my nutrition, will be weak, brain is all nonsense. Right? Because according to medical science, in fact, plant-based diet is the most healthiest. Even athletes, they're taking up plant-based diet, we will see, nutrition-wise. Okay. So first of all, in order to speak about protein, first of all, you need to understand what is your recommended daily allowance. How much protein you need daily? உங்களுக்கு எவ்வளவு protein தேவை அது மாதிரி தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். சரிங்களா? எவ்வளவு protein தேவை? பேபிஸ்க்கு 10 கிராம், பேபிஸ் 10 கிராம், ஸ்கூல் ஏஜ் கிட் 19 to 34 gram, teenage boys 52 grams, and teenage girls 46 gram, adult men 56 grams. So all of us are adults. So we need about 56 grams of protein per day. Now you want a specific calculation, 0.8 gram per kilogram. That is the protein required. Okay. Now you see what happened. In the name of protein, when we engulf, when we feed ourselves a meat protein, what happened? They are destroying our body. So this is a research from JAMA, Internal Medicine, Journal of American Medical Association. So they are telling association of animal and plant protein intake with all cause and cause specific mortality. Please read the conclusion. So what they are telling in the conclusion here, high animal protein intake was positively associated with cardiovascular mortality, and high plant protein intake was inversely associated with all cause and cardiovascular mortality. Abdina, that means if you are taking animal protein, you are going to die very soon. And if you are going to take a plant-based protein, you are reversing the cardiovascular disease. You are reversing the death because of cardiovascular disease. That is the meaning of this research. Make sense? Yes. So not I am telling, but JAMA, American Medical Association, are telling. Okay, internal medicine, So this is very important journal. And yes, there's another journal by Food and Nutrition Research. What they are telling, vegetable but not animal protein intake is associated to a better physical performance. A study on a general population, a sample of adults. So that means we will come to that, Prabhu. Very good question. We will come to that. Thank you. So vegetable but not animal protein intake is associated to a, I'm addressing a question here. Prabhu have asked, is milk animal protein? Okay, we will come to that. Okay, so vegetable but not animal protein intake is associated to a better physical performance, right? So basically, when we take plant-based animal protein, we can perform better in even athletics, right? Even we can perform, we can become athlete, no problem. We can run marathon, no problem, right? So nowadays, all the athletes are taking a plant-based diet, right? So contraindicating to what our so-called Indian people think. பையனுக்கு சத்து பத்தாது, பையனுக்கு வந்து சீக்கு வந்துடும், பையனுக்கு அது வந்துடும், my child won't have nutrition, my child will be weak. So, bogus. Because Pratyaksha Anumana, medical science, medical research have said, by taking vegetable diet, you in fact you increase your performance. This is a fact. Okay, right? So can plant-based diet provide all the essential protein? That's another question, right? People will ask, Prabhu, ella protein irukuma? Because some other people, they are not challenging. They said plant-based diet cannot have all 9 essential amino acids. So let's see, right? So what is essential amino acid? Essential amino acid means the proteins that cannot be produced by our body. So we need to get it from our diet. So if you see, we have many examples of plant-based diet which have complete source of protein. One example is soya bean. It's according to American family physician, soy is a complete source of protein. Okay, another protein. What is this? Milk. So milk is 3.3% of total protein, and milk have all 9 essential amino acids. Okay, so Prabhu have asked a question: is milk animal protein? Prabhu, the answer is yes. Milk is animal protein. Okay, but the studies which they have done, okay, animal protein which they meant is meat, animal meat, because these things have high protein. Okay, so of course milk comes under the category of animal protein, but it is not in the form of meat. Okay, because you see, what is the component of meat? Meat means is our muscle. So can you imagine, all our muscle is simply made of protein structure. So that is why these meat are high in protein. Whereas the milk which is coming from the blood of the cow, it doesn't contain as much as protein as the meat. Therefore, it is suitable for human consumption, and it is the best source of protein. This is the answer. Is that clear, Prabhu? So when all this research they have done on a meat, because meat contains high protein. So this is the point we should understand. So we are not against animal protein. Another thing we must understand, we are not against animal protein. We are against animal protein which is obtained through uncivilized way, which is through the killing of the animal, through the meat, right? But milk is a civilized way of getting animal protein, which is simply taking the milk. It's coming from the blood, but the blood convert into milk. And we are happy, cow is happy. The cow is not harmed, right? So this is intelligent. This is civilization, right? So even Shastra, Srila Prabhupada recommends milk is the best diet for human being. We will come to that. Now we are only seeing science, right? Even science says milk is good. That's why we are having a lot of milk products, like cheese, yogurt, animal protein, animal product. But it is all good source of protein, which will protect us from heart problems when taken a adequate amount. Okay, so quinoa, right? Quinoa also same. It contains all amino acids, right? All 9 amino acids. So, and we also can create a complete protein combination, like brown rice and lentils. We have a complete protein. Whole grain and nuts, complete protein. Beans and whole grain, complete protein. So where is the question of vegetarians not getting all 9 essential amino acids? Bogus. So the people who claim that vegetarian doesn't get enough protein, They don't have knowledge, right? So let's continue. Okay, we are running out of time. Yes. So in fact, not only protein, we can get all vitamin B12, iron, calcium, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids all in vegetarian diet. Simply drinking milk will have all these things covered. Simply drinking milk. So vitamin B12, yogurt is vitamin B12 rich. Just giving example, cheese, iron, broccoli, all the green vegetables, dates, rich in iron, calcium, milk, broccoli, all green vegetables. So omega-3 fatty acids, walnut, all the nuts, almonds, chia seeds, all these seeds rich in omega-3 fatty acids. So we don't need to take meat, which is in fact harmful for us, right? So let's see. This is a study by ISRN Nutrition, right? What they are telling is adverse effect associated with protein intake. So if you are going to take a lot of protein, example, meat contains huge amount of protein. Okay, our body only needs 0.8 gram per kilogram, right, of body weight. But when we take a lot of protein, what happened? Please read this. What happened is, first, disorder of bone and calcium. Yes, I will answer that question. Actually, simply to answer, yes, we no need to take fish supplement. There's a question by the audience. So in that case, we do not have to take fish oil supplements. There's no need. Okay? Because whatever the nutrition in the fish oil, we can get it simply by taking vegetarian food. Okay, so there's no need. We only need to check out what is the food rich in these omega-3s, right? So that is a point. Okay, so you see here, by simply taking a meat protein, what happened? First of all, your bone and calcium metabolism, hemostasis is gone. Hemostasis means the bone and calcium regulation in the body. Is regulation, bone and calcium. So it is gone. And what happened? The disorder of renal function, kidney failure. You know why? Because your kidney is responsible to process all the protein, right? And also increase cancer. You have cancer, liver function gone, your liver will be gone, and also increased risk of coronary artery disease. So this is the consequences of eating high protein diet. What is the meaning of high protein diet? Meat. So let's see, let's compare. Can you see now? All these plant-based food, peanuts, pumpkin, almond, all protein per 100 gram is, you see, all is optimum for human consumption. But if you look into the animal food, is very high. It's in fact not suitable for our organs, not suitable for our liver. You see, it's quite high. If you compare, you see, beef 31 gram, right? So okay, let us do a rough calculation. Okay, you see. Okay, another evidence I can produce you also, animal protein. Okay, before we do the calculation, let's see. You see, this is also another very interesting study. Animal protein, what's the problem with animal protein? It causes disorder of the bone, increased cancer, liver problem, coronary artery disease. So this is a research done by Harvard University. Right. So, and another interesting thing is what they say is, very interesting thing. No association was found between kidney function decline and intake of plant protein or fat. That means when you're taking plant-based protein, there's no issues in your kidney and liver. Fantastic. Naturally, our body are meant to take plant-based protein. This is the reason. This is the evidence, right? So let's do a rough calculation. Okay. As I said, an adult, they'll need about 0.8 gram per kilogram of body weight protein. So let's say if your weight is 65 kilogram, so simply 65 times 0.8, you only need 52 grams of protein per day. Okay. So let's say if you're a meat eater, okay, if this is your diet of a meat eater, where you're working on biryani tandoori chicken for your lunch, so let's say you whack 2 drumstick chicken, 25 grams of protein, you whack 1 mutton biryani, 1 plate, 25 gram of protein, 2 egg, 12 gram of protein, raita 5 gram, total of 67.6 gram. Now the question, what is your recommended allowance? Please look back. How many? 52. So by simply taking a non-vegetarian meal for lunch, you are damaging your body, already exceed the amount of protein, and your liver and kidney is going to suffer. And it is only speaking about lunch. How about dinner and breakfast and supper? So basically, you're going to damage your body. So let's see. This is a healthy vegetarian diet simply by taking a nice rice, varieties of rice, dal, curd, banana poriyal, rice payasam, vadai, carrot, sambar, and many, many more. You only come up to 41 gram. And still you have another extra quota to take for dinner and breakfast. So you see, this is perfect. So even if you look into the American Academy of Nutrition, they are the foremost authority on diet and nutrition, the American Academy of Nutrition. So what they said well-planned vegetarian diets are appropriate for individuals during all stages of life. Prabhu, my children, still small, I should feed him some egg. Nonsense. Okay. American Academy of Nutrition is telling a well-planned diet are suitable for all stages of life, including pregnancy, even pregnancy mother, lactating mother means breastfeeding mother, infancy, childhood, and adolescence, and also for even athletes. I'm not telling this. American Academy of Nutrition telling this. So this is the evidence. Okay. So this is the example. Like we have a lot of boxer athletes. They are becoming vegetarian, plant-based diet to increase their performance. So this guy, David High, he's a boxer. He's a vegetarian. Okay. And this guy, Kedrick Jacob Faris, is a weightlifter and he's a vegetarian. And this man, long distance runner, marathon runner, Scott Jurek. So you can try to find out. There are many people who are taking plant-based diet. Right. So yes, we are running out of time. Okay. So you see, I have a lot of evidence to provide. You see, even if you check into our food pyramid. Okay. So this is food pyramid we always used to see in our school times, right? So even if you look in the food pyramid, we have to consume more vegetables. But this food pyramid is no longer valid. This food pyramid is no longer valid. Even if you follow the invalid food pyramid, you should consume more plant-based diet. But now they have revised, and interestingly, they have come out with, we should only take, what is this? You see here, this is from Kementerian Kesehatan Malaysia. Even WHO, they are recommending us to take only plant-based, the most sajian, more than 3. There's no limit. You can take any vegetables, any amount of vegetables. But if you look into meat, they say restriction, only 1 to 2, right? So only 1 to 2. So even by medical science, we can establish, that we are not fit to take meat. This is a research from Oxford University. What they're telling is a healthy plate must consist of 70% portion of vegetables, some whole grain, and healthy protein, not animal protein, but healthy protein, which means vegetable protein. This is from Harvard University research. Okay. So even from logical, you see, even now we have provided so many evidences, anatomically, physiologically, journals, nutritions. So are you all convinced that our diet is not meat? If still not convinced, then we can go to another approach. We can even go to logical approach and see. Okay. So what is this? What is this? Chicken curry. So if you ask any non-vegetarian, any meat eater, if you ask them, will you eat this? Will you eat this? What is the answer? They will say, why not? Delicious chicken curry, yummy, right? Because they say, this is very nice. I will eat this. Okay. So now I'm asking a question to the people who are taking meat. Okay. Let's analyze this chicken curry. Okay. What is the root? What is the root of this chicken curry? Let's see. Okay. So since you're telling, I am a meat eater, I cannot give up meat. Some people, they say that, I cannot give up meat. So I'm asking a challenge. Why are you eating curry? If you're telling you're a die-hard fan of meat, first of all, can you eat this chicken? I'm giving a live chicken here. Are you able to eat it? Can you eat it? The answer is no. Okay, no problem. I will catch for you the chicken. I will slaughter for you. Okay, so I'm reducing your workload. You don't need to catch the chicken. I've caught for you and I've chopped for you. I've slaughtered the neck for you. Will you eat the chicken? Can you eat? You are telling that your most favorite food is chicken. You cannot give up chicken. I mean, I'm talking about the non-vegetarian. People are telling we cannot give up meat. So if you are really a meat eater, why not you eat this chicken? Can you eat? Cannot. Okay, never mind. I've already cleaned all the blood and now I'm cutting it you very nicely and I'm giving you in pieces. Can you eat this chicken? Can you eat this chicken? No, you will be vomiting. You will be nauseated, vomited. So no way that you can eat this chicken, right? So you are telling you love chicken curry, but then you are unable to take raw meat. What is the problem here? What is the problem here? What is the problem here? The problem here is all the taste of the chicken curry is coming from all the masala tool, curry powder, chili powder, turmeric, coriander, black pepper. This is where it gives the taste. You are covering all these false smelling meat with all these masala powder, baba's powder, curry powder, chili powder, fenugreek, black pepper, all these things, and then you're eating. Wow, very nice. Where you're getting the taste from? The taste is getting from plant-based herbs and spices. So actually you're a lover of plant-based, not meat. So we are under illusion that meat is tasteful. Meat is not tasteful. Okay. Even by logical approach, we can establish we cannot take meat. Okay. So what is a natural meat eater? If you're going to speak about natural meat eater, this is natural meat eater. These fella love meat. This fella tiger, they can engulf meat less like that. So this is natural meat eater, right? Natural meat eater, right? So that is why, and this is our natural food. So now let's say I'm asking you a question. Will you eat this thing? Yes. Can you eat this thing raw? Yes. Can you eat this thing raw? Yes. Can you eat this thing raw? Yes. But why not the chicken just now you cannot eat? So this is the logical proof that our nature, our own body natures, that we only can eat plant-based diet. Okay, right. So let's see this tiger. So this tiger, even if you're not convinced, you still want to argue, then I'm giving you more conviction, more evidence. So let's see this tiger. This tiger is eating meat. So this is called natural meat eater. So have you seen a tiger getting heart attack? In the zoo Nagara, have you seen a tiger died from heart attack because of excessive meat eating? Or have you seen a tiger getting hyperlipidemia, a lot of cholesterol in the body? Or have you seen a tiger taking red meat cause colon cancer? No, they are very healthy because God have created, or the nature have created the tiger's body to take meat. But when we take meat, we are getting a lot of problems like what? Heart attack, hyperlipidemia and cancer. So this is a logical proof that our body is not fit to take meat. Okay, 8:30. Okay, it's already 8:30. So yes, you see here. So even with logical approach, using our feeling and emotion, you don't need to go through journals, research. Just look at a cow. When you're going to slaughter the animal, they're crying, they're tearing. Can you see how it is running for their life? Do you see any carrot, any cabbage and mango running for life? No. Natural food. This is unnatural food. You see how 5, 6, 7 men are attacking one cow. How 10 fellows are cutting the throat of a cow, animals. So this is not natural, If God have created animals for us to consume, then why God have created tear, pain? And why the animal need to self-defend? The animal might just come to your mouth and say, please kill me, right? But if you see carrot, vegetables, no problem, we can eat. This is our food, right? And even some people might argue, oh, no, we are cutting it in a very human way, in a so-called human way, right? So that also they have researched, there's no such thing as human killing, right? When you're speaking about killing, it's already painful, it's already suffering, it's already torture, right? So, how painful is it or not? When you cut the throat of the animal, it's going to pass through many blood vessels and bones and esophageal and trachea, So there are a lot of nerves. So when you put a sharp knife, is basically so painful, so torturing. So any human being with compassion, any human being with feelings, they will not take meat. The logical approach. You have seen scientific approach. This is logical approach, right? So the conclusion is animals are not our food. Animals are not our food, right? So we should understand. We should live harmony with animal. So don't think that God have created this animal for me to eat. So just because I have canine teeth, I can eat animals. So all these are nonsense, right? And yeah, I will be speeding up. Okay, you see, I have a lot of evidence to share. See, this is the problem. I don't want to miss any evidence, so that at the end of our session, I want all our audience to be 100% convinced that we are not fit to take meat. Okay, we'll go through this very fast. Okay, so we're speaking about environment, right? Do you know that actually meat eating can have the impact on environment? Let's analyze. So if you see all this food, all this chicken curry, all these steaks, burgers, where is the root of this food? We have to think from farm to plate. So you must go back to the farm, right? What is the origin of this meat? So if you see the origin, this is the origin of the meat. What is this place? This place is called livestock farming. Okay, livestock farming. So can you see now? What is the meaning of livestock farming? Livestock farming means basically, in order for us to eat meat, these people are breeding animals for meat. They are breeding large amount of animals just to satisfy our sense gratification, tongue. Can you see how these livestock animals are suffering, congested, suffocated, injured, fractured, right? So this is the root of your food, where we see just now very nicely burger, all this meat. This is the origin. Okay, this is the origin. We can see how they are all fractured, they are crying, and then the food from the livestock farm will move into the slaughterhouse. So this is slaughterhouse. Can you see what is the condition of the slaughterhouse? This is the food in your plate, the meat eating plate, right? And then you see also egg industry. Some people say no, we can take egg, egg is vegetarian. That is nonsense. Egg is a potential life, right? It is not vegetarian. In fact, they are killing. It's a potential life. It's a embryo of the chicken, right? So you see here, what happened to these chickens? When the egg hatched, when they see it's a male, they immediately kill, they kill the chicks. You know why? Because they cannot produce eggs, and also they are not suitable for meat. Certain chicken are not suitable for meat. So immediately they are killed. This is egg industry. They are grounded up, basically blended. They're going to blend them live. Can you imagine that? So this is how your food is going through the plates before it comes to the plates, right? And then finally it come to supermarket. And then we see nicely packaged with some vegetable on top. And we think this is cruelty free. No meat is cruelty free. Everything is full of cruelty. Okay. And yeah, we are speaking about livestock farming and the impact on environment. You see here, what is the definition of livestock farming? Livestock farming means raising animal for the use of our pleasure, right? For use of our pleasure. This is a definition from Encyclopedia Britannica. So livestock farming, we are breeding animals for our pleasure, right? So this is the point here. So now the next question is how livestock farming can impact the environment. Yeah, this is the point here. I will summarize very fast. Okay, so we see here, when we breed a lot of animal, what will happen? You need a place, right? So we consume a lot of land. So you see, the analysis have shown, the statistics have shown, in order to rear a cow to produce beef, you need 20 times more land per gram of compared to beans. If you want to grow beans compared to beef, you need 20 times more to produce beef. Isn't it big land consumption?
Google Meet వచ్చింది చూస్తారా?
Right. And then number 2, we can see, because we are taking up land, we have deforestation. We're going to cut down all the forests. In fact, the research have shown in the Amazon rainforest, 91% of the deforestation is due to livestock farming. Can you imagine all our forests are destroyed for livestock farming? And in fact, they are consuming a lot of water, gallons of water to feed the animal, for transportation, cleaning. And these animals feed, in order to make the meat, they're going to grow crops so that they can feed these animals. At the same time, we have many children dying of starvation in many countries. So we are having starvation, same time we're having a lot of food which used to give to the livestock animals. Can you see this? So the problem is meat eating. If we stop meat eating, we can feed all the population in the world. Statistics have shown, right? And last but not least, we see methane gas, right? So these livestock farming, these animals, they produce a gas. They call a greenhouse emission. Okay, I'll explain about it. Very, very brief. Okay, so greenhouse emission. What's the meaning greenhouse effect? Basically, greenhouse effect means, okay, naturally on our earth, there are certain gases in our earth environment, right? So when the sunlight is reflected on our earth, all these gases absorb some heat and retain it so that our earth can have optimum temperature. So when we have lot of gases, then it retains a lot of heat, it becomes global warming. When we have very less gases, it becomes cold and frozen, not fit to human survival. So we must have balanced rate. But the problem with meat eating is this livestock farming increases the gases. This is already the natural gases in our environment. The problem is, as we see, 70%, 60% of the carbon dioxide is extra coming from the animals. Therefore, we have global warming. It's very bad for the environment, right? So this is the evidence, you see. So all these evidence are there. It's coming mainly from agriculture due to livestock farming. Okay. So yeah, these are all the journals I'm speaking here. And not only that, it can cause ozone layer depletion. All these gases produced by this animal will cause ozone layer depletion, and then will cause UV ray to penetrate, and this is risk of cancer, skin cancer. You see the impact on environment? Very, very bad, right? So all these are the fact I'm providing, to just to prove that this byproduct of this animal have a lot of carbon dioxide, 51%, which makes greenhouse effect, which cause global warming, impact on our earth, mother earth, environmental, right? So this is water consumption. The research have said to get 1 pound of meat, 1 pound of meat means half kg of meat. You need 520 gallons, 2000 liters of water just to take half kilogram of chicken meat. Think about it. So much of wastage. And think about beef, way high, right? So this is all my evidence, journals. Okay. So, and we're talking about land, more 1/3 of the lands are occupied by these livestock. These are all the journals, right? So, and very nice fact is here, So every minute 3 million kilogram of excrements are produced by the animal, the byproduct. And it is said that the animal byproduct are enough to cover New York City, Tokyo, and San Francisco. Can you think? So much of wastage, so much of land usage, so much of water usage, so much of environmental impact. Right? So this is all my evidences from journals, right? So not only that, another fact we can see is seafood. By taking fish, the science, the research have shown by 2048 there is no fish, there is no more fish, right? And not only that, in order to catch fish, many unwanted animals, sea creatures are killed. So that is also bad, right? So according to National Geography, seafood may be gone by 2048. Right? So all these are fact. We have seen how Amazon just now, 91% of the Amazon forests are used, responsible for livestock. Right? All these are my evidences. All journals are there. Right? So I'm going very fast. You see, because it's the same thing, repetitive. So the point is, meat eating also do have impact on what? Environment, on our mother earth. This is very important point. Hunger. Now, do you know that we already grow enough food for 10 billion people and still we cannot end hunger? You know why? Because most of the food are produced to feed the animal, to get meat, to satisfy the demand of the Westerners to take meat. That is a problem. You see, they are, whenever you eat meat, whenever you're enjoying your McDonald's burger or KFC, there are some child in the world dying of starvation because the food is used for livestock animal to produce meat. So this is very bad, you know. By simply taking meat, you're the cause for someone to die because of starvation. So there are many awareness. Currently, people are aware. They are becoming they are taking up plant-based diet. So they are telling about animal agriculture is the leading cause of global warming, water depletion, ozone dead zones, and they are having the awareness right now, right? So there's nothing new. Everywhere we can see now people are taking up this diet, right? So even is another fact, interesting fact. So 15 times more protein on any given area of land with plants rather than beef. What is the meaning here? Let us see this calculation. To produce soybean protein content is 163 gram per pound. Okay, this is for your calculation. You see, the protein content per acre of soybean is about 500,000 gram per acre, which means you can produce this much of protein from soybean from 1 acre. And please look into the beef. You can produce only 100 gram. Can you see the difference? So this is a fact. Half acre can produce 16,000 of plant-based protein and only 170 kilogram for beef. What a wastage. So okay, so what's the summary here? So what's the summary? The summary is very simple. From all perspective we have established, anatomy and physiologically we are not fit to take meat. From health aspect, various medical journals, they are not fit to take meat. From various nutrition aspect, we are not fit to take meat. And even from logical thinking and natural feeling, you are not fit to take meat. And even from environmental aspect, you are not fit to take meat. Okay. So the conclusion is, simply by looking into Pratyaksha Anumana, medical science, okay, you don't need to accept God, you don't need to accept Bhagavad Gita, you don't need to accept the Vedas. Simply at this point, by only accepting medical science, you can understand that we are not fit to eat meat. So when later we're going to see on Shastra, maybe next session, we're going to see what does the Shastra say on meat eating. Then we can have a clear idea, right? So this is the point, right? So this is the point, right? So in any angle, in any aspect, meat eating is not justified. Okay. So there's a nice saying, you know, George Bernard Shaw, I do not want to make my stomach the graveyard of dead animals, right? So George Bernard Shaw is an Irish political activist. He's a politician. So he said, don't make your stomach graveyard. Basically, we are dumping all dead bodies into our body, right? So actually our supposed to be the continuation is, we're going to see from the aspect of Shabda. Shabda means to our Shastra, perfect source, right? But I would like to ask the opinion of the audience. Okay, shall we stop here, or you want me to proceed to the Shabda? It will take another 15 to 20 minutes max. I'll follow the majority. Please type in the text box.
Or maybe you can raise your hand.
Okay, so far 2 audience say proceed.
Proceed, Prabhu.
Okay, so
Raise your hand.
we will proceed. Please give me 15 minutes. Very good. So the audience are attentive. They are listening. So it's a good sign. So I will continue. Okay, because I got no problem. Okay. So next we're going to see from the perspective of Shabda. So we have already seen on Pratyaksha and Anumana. Pratyaksha Anumana means based on our senses, which means the medical science, medical journals, environmental impacts, no mediating. Okay, now we dive into Shabda. Shabda means Vedic scripture. Okay. Oh, I will come to that. Mataji, Malar Mataji is asked a very good question. I will come to that,
Okay.
Mataji. Thank you. I will come to that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we will see now. Now we currently, we have many so-called comparative religion speaker. These fellows who telling, God have created us to animal, God have created animal to for us to eat, and they even quote Vedic scriptures. உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா சாஸ்திரத்திலே நம்ம மாமிசம் சாப்பிடலாம். Do you know even from the point of Vedas you can eat animal, you can kill animal, no problem, right? Let us see, is it true or not? Okay, so if you look here, I am giving a reference. They are in various places mentioned about animal sacrifice. Yagya, sacrifice is yagya, right? So they are mention of animal sacrifice. Example in the Vedas from the Karma Kanda portion. What is Karma Kanda? Karma Kanda portion means where you will worship a certain demigods and perform a certain sacrifice like animal sacrifice to please the demigods to gain some material benefit. It is there. Okay, and also in Mahabharata, Ramayana, Manusmriti, Mimamsa Sutra, right? Like Ramayana, Dasaratha Maharaj performed this Ashwamedha Yagya. We know that, right? So first of all, you must be clear, this is not animal slaughterhouse. We are doing animal sacrifice. There's a big difference. Okay, let us see what is the meaning of this animal sacrifice. Okay, so the real purpose of this animal sacrifice, as I said, is to gain some material gain, like wealth, power, a child, or go to heaven. Okay, and also the most important point you need to note here is animal sacrifice. By sacrificing the animal according to the process given in the Shastra, we are giving new body to the animal. So Siva Puranathila, when someone die, we will lead, right? Enna paaduvom Siva Puranathila, kallagi, puluvagi, maramagi, paambagi, paravayagi, then manidanagi, peyagi, ganangalagi, devanagi, right? So all the souls are going through all these cycles. So Shastra said that when we do animal sacrifice, this animal body, the soul which have animal body will be evoluted, will be evolved, will be transferred and given a higher body, such as a human body or even a demigod body, so that they can continue their journey of spiritual realization. Right? So this is the benefit of doing animal sacrifice, Ashwamedha Yagya. Right? So Ashwamedha Yagyana சும்மா எடுத்துட்டு போயிட்டு கழுத்தை வெட்டுறது இல்லை, அதுக்கு பல ப்ராசஸ் இருக்கு. It's not simply cutting throat, but it had many process. So what is the process here? Ashwamedha Yagya, let us see. First of all, in order to do this Yagya, example like Ashwamedha, Ashwa means horse. Okay, so Ashwamedha Yagya செய்யணும்னா நம்மளுக்கு என்ன தேவைன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, first of all you need a suitable horse. Not all horse can be used for sacrifice. There are certain quality, characteristic, the color of the horse, it must be seen. It's given in the Shastra. Not any horse. Okay, you have to get that horse first. Okay, and the next thing is, what are you going to do? You need to have a qualified Brahmanas to set up the Yagya Kunda. Brahmanas means they must be following the Shastra. They must well verse in Sanskrit, reading mantras. Right? This is the Brahmanas qualification. This is Adhikara. So Brahmanas who are taking meat, who are simply maintaining supporting slaughterhouse, or simply in the name of Brahmana they're doing all nonsense, they are not Brahmanas. Brahmana means who have realized Brahman, realized God, Krishna. So they are fit to do this sacrifice. Then only the animal will get a human body. You can see, Pratyaksha you can see, the animal will get a new body. Then your animal sacrifice is success. Right? So that is why you have qualified Brahmanas. Okay, and then not only that, it's not that you're simply bringing the horse and cutting. No. What is the process? First of all, you need to take the horse, and then you need to do a ritual, set up a yajna, and then the king, usually done by king, because it's not a lot of cost. Only the king will do this. Kshatriya. You know what they will do? They will let the horse to travel in all direction for 1 year. Though they will let the horse to travel in all direction for 1 year, and the horse must return undefeated. Then only you can sacrifice a horse. If on the way of the process of going in all direction, if the horse is defeated by other kings, or the horse died halfway, or the horse drowned in the river, or the horse gone made with another horse, the yajna is cancelled. You need to do parihara and to restart. Can you see how complex is this? Right? Right? So this is, can you see how complex is this? So, and then even if you successfully bring the horse after 1 year into back to your kingdom, you're not immediately slaughtering the horse. You need to do some ceremony for 1 month, rituals. Every day you need to do this yajna. You know, do you know to do this yajna is not simple, you know. You need qualified brahmana, lot of expenses, ghee, pure ghee, not QBB ghee. That is not real ghee. So you need a pure ghee. Ghee வாங்குறதுக்கு ஒண்ணே எவ்வளவு 55 வெள்ளி. You need gallons of ghee, and every day for 1 year and 1 month you need to do. So what is the conclusion here? The conclusion here is animal sacrifice mentioned in the Vedas is meant to elevate the animal to a different body, and also to give benefit to the person who performing the yajna. Right? The very nice comparison we can give is just like someone who's taking the knife and killing the animal, that is slaughter, right? If someone is taking the knife and killing a man, that is murder. But when a doctor, the same human being who is a qualified doctor, when they cut the abdomen, the same cutting process, but you are helping the person. So that is called treatment, surgical treatment. Similar, animal sacrifice in Vedas are surgical treatment to elevate the animal, whereas slaughterhouse meat production is killing, murder. Is that clear? So if anyone come to claim that even in the Shastra there's animal sacrifice, you have to say this. Yes, I know that, and this is the meaning of animal sacrifice. Okay? So don't be bewildered by all these preachers, comparative religious preachers who simply speak nonsense. Right? So we must be very careful. We must equip ourselves with the knowledge of Shastra. So, you know, there's a very nice history from Srimad Bhagavatam about this yajna, animal sacrifice. You know, we all know Daksha. Daksha is a Prajapati who is a father-in-law of Lord Shiva. Daksha, father-in-law of Lord Shiva, which means she is a father. He is the father for Sati Devi, Parvati Devi, right? So Daksha is the father of Sati Devi. So there's a history that in Srimad Bhagavatam mentioned. So this Daksha, he arranged animal sacrifice, even all the Brahmanas. But what happened? He offended Lord Shiva. He offended Lord Shiva. So what happened when you offended Lord Shiva? Immediately Lord Shiva summoned a demon, and what happened? The demon slaughtered his neck instead of the animal. And what happened? Daksha lost his head, right? So this is now why I'm telling this first time. This is the consequences of performing yajna without following the proper rules and regulation. You know, even one demigod is displeased, you are gone. You must take the offense, you must take the sin. You must please all the demigods. So you see, just by displeasing Lord Shiva, you are gone. And what happened? And finally, Daksha head has been transplanted into God's head. So this transplantation is nothing new. Since last time, we know how to transplant even head. It's another topic to discuss. Medical science in Shastra, in Vedic scripture. Okay, so we are going to finish. Okay, you look into the real. Let's analyze the real Shastra, holistically. Don't cherry pick. Just because in a certain portion of the Shastra it says animal sacrifice, you cannot take that and eat meat. You know, don't maintain slaughterhouse. We need to see holistically. You see here, Atharva Veda, all from Atharva Veda, Yajurveda is clearly said. You eat rice, barley, gram, sesame. Do not kill the who are capable of being fathers and mothers. Right? So do not who ought to destroy those who eat cooked as well as uncooked meat involving destruction of males and females, fetus and eggs. That means we should destroy the person who take all these meats. That's the meaning in Atharva Veda. So, and Yajur Veda also say the thing, don't kill animal, protect the animal. Humans must protect the animals, right? Do not kill cow. Cow is innocent, Rig Veda. So, do you know, of all the meat eating, the most sinful is cow eating, beef eating. So, Shastra have made a degree of sin. So, killing a mosquito is different sin, killing an insect is different sin, and killing a cow is a most sinful. So, simply by killing cow, you are bringing all your generations and yourself and ancestors go back into hell. Shastra says this, right? So, very careful on taking beef. Nowadays, our Indians are very proud. No problem, liberal, you know. And nowadays, we can take beef, no problem, Same like chicken, what? Because these are the ignorance people. They don't know Shastra. They don't even know medical science, right? So, like that, Rig Veda, same thing. Cannot, you see, Rig Veda is telling, do not take horse flesh, Anyone who take horse flesh, human flesh, any animal flesh, so they should be punished. And what is the punishment? Their head should be chopped off. So anyone who are killing cows or any animals, we should warning them first. If they never listen, then we should chop off their head. The kings, authorities should chop off their head. This is how heavy Shastra against meat eating. Even horse is not allowed to simply kill. You must follow the sacrifice process. Okay. Even Smriti. Smriti also says the same thing. Meat can never be obtained without injury to living creatures. An injury to sentient being. Right? So an injury to sentient being is detrimental to the attainment of heavenly bliss. Let him therefore shun the use of meat, having well considered the distinguished origin of flesh and the cruelty of fettering and slaying corporal being. Let him entirely abstain from eating flesh. So what they are telling is, meat can never be obtained without injuring to the living entity. So we should not do this. We should not eat meat. Otherwise, you will not attain heaven. Okay? So basically, simply by becoming plant-based diet, simply by becoming vegetarian, you can even attain heaven, no problem. But we understand heaven is not the highest. When we read Bhagavad Gita, even heaven is suffering. But even you can attain heaven. This much rewards are given to people who don't take meat. Right? And this is very famous quote by Prabhupada from Manu Samhita. Manu Samhita is the man book for law book for mankind. Manu means Manusya. Right? So, he who permits the slaughter of animal, he who cuts it up, who kills it, who buys or sells it, who cooks it, who serves it, who eats it, must all to be considered the slayer of the animals. Right? And there is no great sinner than that man who thought not worshipping the gods or the ancestors seeks to increase the bulk of his own flesh by the flesh of other being. Right? So certain people will say, Prabhu, I am not killing, I'm just buying from the supermarket. One Mataji asked the question, is it? Oh, that is mock meat, okay. So yeah. So even you buy, you share the sin. Even you cook. Prabhu, I am not eating, I'm just cooking. You get the sin. Prabhu, I am a full vegetarian, but my relative are non-vegetarian, So my mating ceremony, I separate section, vegetarian, non-vegetarian. You have sin. Because you support meat eating. You buy meat. You support, you serve meat. So all these are sharing sin. So this is very strict, right? So yeah, this is repetitive. We have seen just now. And this Mahabharata also says, the man who have eaten meat, who having eaten meat, gives it up afterward, wins merit. By such a deed, it's so great that a study of all Vedas or performance, O Bharata, of all the sacrifice, cannot give its like. Appadina, people who are eating meat, if they give up after hear this session, therefore they can even attain heaven, and also they are equal to study all the Shastra. This is what Mahabharata says. So even if you are taking meat, if you now desire to give up meat, you're so great. Shastra respect you. It's equal to you have studied and understood the gist of Shastra. You're fit to begin a human life, to proceed to understand who is God. This is a statement from Mahabharata. Right? So final recommendation. So what is the final recommendation? We need to understand this. Ashwamedam Gavalambam Sanyasam Pala Paitrikam Devarena Sutatpatim Kalau Pancha Vivardayet. Okay, so in Kali Yuga, so Prabhu, can we perform yajna, animal sacrifice in Kali Yuga? No way. So the horse sacrifice we mentioned just now was meant in different yuga. Because in Kali Yuga, Krishna knows we are all rascals. There's no qualified brahmanas. So there's these 5 acts: no offering horse in sacrifice, no animal sacrifice, no cow sacrifice, no taking sannyasi, no oblation of flesh to forefathers, and no begetting children from the brother's wife. So Deepavali we see, we will offer, எங்க தாத்தாக்கு வந்து chicken பிடிக்கும், mutton பிடிக்கும், சுருட்டு பிடிக்கும், இதெல்லாம் பிடிக்கும். No, nonsense. If you are doing this, you are sending your whole ancestors to the hell, darkest region of ignorance, and including yourself. So this is from Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Okay. So conclusion. So what is the conclusion? So Bhagavad Gita we can see, Krishna also is speaking. What is the food we should take? Satvika food, which is good for your heart. Hridaya ahara satvika. Krishna is speaking about medical science. Take food which is good for your cardiovascular system, pleasing to your heart. In the Pratyaksha Anumanla onnu illa. Krishna appear pesitaru. Lord Krishna have spoken in Bhagavad Gita. Protect your heart. The food which is good for your heart is satvika. This is juicy, fatty. Fatty means what? Not meat, but animal milk, cow milk, cream, yogurt, juicy, vegetable, wholesome, grains, nuts. Right? So this is Krishna's diet plan. That is what Prabhu says, the food that liberate you. This is Krishna's diet plan. So when we follow Satvika, we will become liberated. How to become liberated? You will see. We have to offer to Krishna, then we liberate it. So and you see the food which is prohibited in Shastra, Krishna says, the food too bitter, too sour, too salty, too pungent. Sambar blachan, vegetarian blachan, all gone. Mataji asked a question just now. Mataji, you asked a question, can we take a vegetarian meat? No. Why we cannot take? Because it's not Satvika. Even though it is vegetarian, Krishna have said here, food in the mood of goodness means what? Increase your life, increase your strength, give you health, satisfaction, right? The next verse, Krishna says, food prepared more than 3 hours is not fit to be eaten. So all it is vegetarian meat, vegetarian fish are all frozen, all full of chemicals, full of preservatives. So it is all not fit. It's food under tamasa. So we are not fit to eat, Mataji, even though it is vegetarian, right? So therefore, Krishna is establishing here, Bhojanam tamasa priyam. The people who are in the mood of good, the darkness, they will eat meat. What is the meaning? Meat here? Tasteless, putrid, decomposed. This is an example of meat. Okay? So these are untouchable thing. So people who consume this, they will be in the mood of darkness. Right? Very clear. So finally, what is the food we should eat? We should eat only food, Satvika food, which is offered to Krishna. Very simple. Before I end, I also like to share this very important shloka. Jivo jivasya jivanam, Bhagavatam. So many people might say, oh, this is food chain, we must eat meat, food chain, if not a chicken will become so much of chicken. So much of chicken because you produce chicken in livestock. So this food chain are not different, no new thing for us. We already know this food chain from Bhagavatam. Jivo jivasya jivanam. One living being is food for another. So even killing plant is sin. And certain people argue, hey, you take a plant is so killing, But you must understand, killing plant is different, killing meat is different, killing animals different degree. Right? Our aim is what? Minimum harm. Right? Srimad Bhagavatam says, we must do our duty without excessive violence, minimum harm, and perform our devotional service. So last but not least, Krishna says what? Simply by offering me the vegetable, the Satvika food, I will take all the sin. Because even by killing vegetable, we have sin, minimal sin. So Krishna says, by offering to me, I'll take all this sin. So therefore, that's why Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam, Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Right? So if one offers with me love and devotion and leave a flower fruit, what I would accept it. So therefore, this is the food that liberates you. Right? So this is the understanding. So this is the conclusion. So we are not vegetarian or vegan, but we are simply prasadarian, Krishna Prasada. So if you follow this diet, we can go back to Godhead, we can go back to Krishna. All right? So, but if you never follow this diet, even by following vegetarian diet, you can begin your human life to understand Krishna. Okay? So there's a big difference. Even by being vegetarian, you are reducing all your violence. That must be understood. Okay? So, yeah. Otherwise, karma will hit you. Shastra says, when you kill a cow, the same thing will kill you again in next life. So this is karma. Karma will find you. Every action is the reaction. So Krishna is very merciful. If you want to take meat, Krishna says, never mind, you become pig. You can eat everything, including stool. You want to take meat, you can become tiger. You can take raw meat. No need to put masala, babas and take. Very easy, right? So this is the conclusion, right? So last but not least, the conclusion is, as Patitarana Prabhu said, the food that liberates you is prasadam, right? And the food that kills you is anything which is not prasadam. So that is the point, because even vegetarian, if you're not following sattvic food, then it's going to kill you also. And we have clearly established from Pratyaksha Anumana, medical science and journals, there's no way for meat eating. And even in Shastra, there's no way for meat eating. Right? So the conclusion is, we cannot take meat. After the conclusion. So is there any question? Is there any comments? Is there anything you'd like to ask? And thank you for listening, and really sorry to take up so much of time. Right? So yes, Prabhu, we are open for Q&A session. Any questions?
Anyone? Or you can even type. You can send in a message box.
And I'm sorry, at the last, I had to speed up. I had to speed up my presentation. It's like, in YouTube, you increase to 1.5 speed.
Yes.
So I have to increase my speed into 1.5. So Hare Krishna Prabhu, why don't you give a session for kids in the next? Yes, can Mataji, we can arrange that. You can text me. So we can arrange for that. First, parents must learn. Right, Mataji. Yes, that's very nice proportion. But the most important is, before the kids learn, the parents must learn also. Otherwise, the parents will become detrimental. So, Mataji is saying kids are rulers of the house. Yes, no problem, Mataji. First, you learn. The parents must be educated. Then we can give the children. No problem. If you know, then we can give also the children the knowledge. Because we must understand from Shastra, parents are the first guru. So parents must take the important role. Mataji, parents are guru. So, okay. Yes, definitely can. We can do a session for kids and youths, no problem. As a question here from Gandhi Madi Mataji, can Prabhu explain about on iron and garlic eating?
Onion.
Oh, onion. Okay.
Onion and garlic. Yeah.
Onion and garlic licking. Okay, Mataji. Very simple, Mataji. As we said, okay. Even though garlic and onion are vegetarian in the perspective of Pratyaksha Anumana from medical science, but if you see what Krishna says, Krishna, you see, if you see in Bhagavad Gita, just now we see that Bhagavad Gita, Krishna never classified the food as a vegetarian, non-vegetarian, vegan or no. Krishna's give you a very special diet plan, Mataji. In a diet plan, pathina, the food in the mode of satvika, and the food in the mode of patient, abhina rajo gunam and tamasa gunam. So when you look into the properties of garlic and onion, it falls under the category of rajo and tamo. The reason is because if you analyze the properties of the food, when you take when you take onion or garlic, immediately it is very foul smelling. Onion you'll be tearing. Pungent. You see, Krishna used the word pungent. Anything which is very pungent is not fit to offer to Krishna and not fit to be taken by us. Right? So that is one thing. And also, when according to Ayurvedic Shastra, when you take this onion and garlic, it stimulates your senses. It's not good for spiritual realization. Therefore, it falls under the category of Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Right? So, even though it might have some health benefit, Ayurvedic says that, but still, in the higher understanding, so when you come to the higher understanding to progress in spiritual life, as in Krishna consciousness, we should not touch this food which are in the mood of Rajoguna, Tamoguna, passion and ignorance. Not only onion and garlic, Mataji, onion, garlic, coffee, beer, chocolates, mushroom, all these are not fit to be offered. vegetarian mock meat, right? What is the pramana? The pramana is, Krishna says, anything more than 3 hours are not fit to be offered. Right? And it is full of chemicals, ajinomoto, preservatives. Right? Do you think it is natural? Do you think it's healthy? Krishna says Satvika means it must improve your strength, bala arokya. Right? So that's why we reject all these things, even it is vegetarian. Okay, so is that clear, Mataji? So we should only put ginger in the vegetables. Mataji, you can cook very nicely even by following the plan of Krishna's diet, Satvikam diet. You can put asafoetida, ginger, lot of herbs are there. Mataji, don't worry. You maybe we can have a separate session on what to cook.
Asafoetida means perengayam, right?
Perengayam.
Okay.
Perengayam, right? Maybe durian. Raja Malar Mataji is telling, yes, even certain fruits are not fit to be consumed, Mataji. Like durian, you see, smell adicha mudinchi, veede poirum, gaadiye poirum. So that's why in certain airports, hotels, they don't take even durian, right? So even durian we cannot take, right? So this is the point, Mataji. So நீங்க எல்லா ஆங்கிள்லயும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம வந்து மீட் சாப்பிடக்கூடாது. ஆனா கிருஷ்ணாவுடைய டயட் பிளான் பாத்தீங்கன்னா பெர்ஃபெக்ட் டயட் பிளான். அவர் அழகா கொடுத்துட்டாரு. சாத்விகம் சாப்பாடு தான் நம்மளுக்கு பெஸ்ட், சீக்கே வராதுன்னு சொல்றாரு. ஆஃப்கோர்ஸ் சீக்குனா அவ கர்மாவும் இருக்கு. But I'm speaking on our current activity. We simply follow what Krishna says, what Prabhupada says, then we will be perfect. Our body will be good so that we can serve Guru and Gauranga. Right? So, Prabhu, Sheshadri Prabhu have said some senior devotees eating durian. So Prabhu, yes, Prabhu, our way to gain knowledge is not senior devotee or not any guru, but our way to gain knowledge is through Shastra Pramana. Okay, so what Shastra say, that must be repeated by sadhus and guru. So if the sadhus and gurus are following Shastra, Achara, then they are Acharya. Therefore, we can follow. Otherwise, if they are doing something against Shastra, they are not Achara, they are Abhichara. they are Vichara. They are not actually Achara. They are not following. So therefore, they are not our guide. Right? So whatever it is, even Srila Prabhupada says, Shastra is the center. So anyone who follows Shastra, they are called Acharya. Anyone who follow Acharam, Acharama irukkudu, adan Acharya. Otherwise, it's called Durachara. Right? So it's called Durachara. So, in the senior devotee, under senior devotee, under temple president, in the temple president, இந்த மாதாஜி அந்த மாதாஜிலாம் நம்மளுடைய எவிடன்ஸ் இல்லை. பிரபுபாட் என்ன சொன்னாரு, கிருஷ்ணா என்ன சொன்னாரு, அதுதான் எவிடன்ஸ். இல்ல எங்க குரு சொன்னாரு சாக்லேட் சாப்பிடலாம், எங்க குரு சொன்னாரு அது சாப்பிடலாம் இல்ல. பிரபுபாட் என்ன சொன்னாரு, சாஸ்திரம் என்ன சொல்லுது, இதுதான் பாயிண்ட். ஓகே, என்ன அது பாயிண்ட் நான் ஃபேக்டா பேசணும், மூடி மறைக்க கூடாது, அதான் பாயிண்ட். Okay, so any other questions?
Oh, I have a question. Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So, we know that we have the Gauranga coffee, Gauranga tea selling, correct? So, the main idea of this tea is the tea and coffee which doesn't contain caffeine. Am I right to say that?
Okay.
Okay, so at the same time, we have this Amway coffee and tea, and also some companies are starting to manufacture coffee and teas without caffeine. We are allowed to take tea and coffee without caffeine, correct? Okay, that is my question, because there were some devotees when I told to them that this Amway coffee doesn't contain caffeine. Not only Amway, even Causeway, it doesn't contain caffeine. They told no, we can only take Gauranga tea and coffee.
Okay, very good question, Prabhu. See, basically, all this, first of all, I answer your first question. All this what you're telling is decaffeinated tea and coffee. Okay, so first of all, Prabhu, we are not supposed to consume decaffeinated coffee, because it's not under the category of Satvika. Same, go back to the principle, because coffee bean itself comes under the category of Rajogun and Tamogun. So whether you take it and make it decaffeinated is not fit to be offered to Krishna. Therefore, we must not consume. Okay. So the first point is we must not consume any decaffeinated coffee. Okay. But now, when you're speaking about Gauranga coffee, first of all, you must know what is the ingredients. Okay. Example, this is not Gauranga coffee, but this is saffron-rich Brajavasi herbal tea. Okay. If you look into the, I'm giving you Pratyaksha Pramana. Okay. If you look into the ingredients, it is simply dry ginger, cinnamon, black pepper, cardamom, and also ginger, saffron. Okay. So they just make it the name tea. Okay. So even though it is a tea, but it is what herbal, all spices. So இது நீங்க எடுக்கலாம். சரிங்களா பிரபு, because all herbal தான். சரிங்களா. So the point is, அது coffee beanல இருந்து அதை decaffeine பண்ணீங்கன்னா basically is nothing but mock meat of fluids. So I mean, this was feedback from Raja Pariksit Prabhu. Prabhu is telling this is nothing but mock meat of fluids, right? அதுதான் பாயிண்ட்மா பிரபு. ஈவன் லைக் மாக் மீட் பாருங்களேன், வெஜிடேரியன் தான், ஆனால் அது வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சாத்விகம் இல்லை. சேம் காஃபி பீன், ஈவன் யூ டீகஃபினேட்டட், இட்ஸ் நாட் சாத்விகம். ஓகேங்களா? பட் த கௌரங்கா காஃபி அண்ட் எவ்ரி திங், இஃப் இட் இஸ் மேட் ஆஃப் ஃப்ரம் த ஹெர்ப்ஸ், ப்ளீஸ் யூஸ் த இன்கிரீடியன்ட். இஃப் தேர் இஸ் நோ எனி டீகஃபினேட்டட் காஃபி, is only all the ingredients of herbs, spices, we can consume. Is that answered your question, Prabhu?
Yeah, so basically, if even decaffeinated coffee, when the coffee bean is already there, we cannot consume it ready, you see?
We cannot consume, Prabhu. We cannot consume.
Oh, even though it's natural.
Even though it is decaffeinated, cannot. Because the point is that the source of this thing is coffee bean, right? It's just like as Prabhu said, it's a liquid version of monk meat, right? So like that. So it is, we've come back to the Shastra Pramana. Shastra says, Krishna says only satvika food, fresh, natural. And caffeine is under the tamasa, stimulate your senses. That's why you drink coffee, you get addicted, Correct, coffee addiction, right? So that is a problem. So we are not into addiction, we are only into addiction of Krishna. So therefore, if you want to be addicted to Krishna, you have to give up the addiction of coffee. So that is the point. Okay. So yes, this actually, this is not Gaura coffee. This is actually Brajavasi tea, Mataji, some herbal tea from Vrindavan. I just tried all herbs only. It's good for cough, all these simple respiratory problems. Okay. So any other questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhu, what about the patai, Prabhu? They said it's very good for this and that.
Very good question, Prabhu. Patai, if you look into the medical science, patai is very good. It's a diuretics. Diuretics, it will flush off your toxin in the kidney. It clear off your urinary tract infection. It clears your kidney stones, right? That's why when you eat patai, you will keep urinating, and even your kidney will smell patai. Your urine will smell patai. Your stool also smell patai. The whole house will smell patai. So, but Prabhu, even though it is some health benefit, but still we must come back to the diet plan given by Krishna. Where Krishna says anything pungent, smelly, is all comes under the category of mode of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So therefore, even though it's vegetarian, we are not fit to consume that. This is false smelling. So by taking that, our consciousness is contaminated. சரிங்களா? அதுதான் என்ன பண்றானுங்க, இவனுங்க வந்து பிளாச்சான் போட்டு சாப்பிட்றானுங்க. பிளாச்சா ஒன்றும் நாத்தம், இதில் வேற இதோ நாத்தம், நாத்து மேலே நாத்தம். அப்போ நம்ம கான்சியஸ் எப்படி இருக்கும்? நாத்தமாக தான் இருக்கும். அப்போ கிருஷ்ணாவை புரிஞ்சிக்க முடியாது. ஸோ இதுதான் வந்து பாயிண்ட். ஓகேங்களா? No problem. Bitter gourd, periyal, no problem. That is good. Our Acharya says no problem. So that is why our diet is not simply vegetarian, but prasadam, the diet planned by Krishna. Actually, I have another session. Okay, this is for devotees who are following all the 4 regular principles. We will analyze what is the vegetarian food we can take and cannot take. I will be analyzing everything. So like Malja asking mock meat, certain things, can we take or not, can we offer or not? We can have another session also. But for devotees of following all the regular principles, then it makes sense. But who are not following, by this session, I hope everyone have come to the understanding of giving up meat. Okay. and try to follow the human diet, which is plant-based diet. Okay, any other question? Hari Bol. Priya Maji is telling, I'll try to become a Prasadarian soon.
Hari Bol.
Priya Maji from where? Salem? Okay. For the information of our audience, Priya Mataji is all the way from Chennai, right? So she's all the way from Chennai, live eaters. Okay, she is very much interested in Krishna consciousness, right? So this is the point, right? So we cannot take all kind of mushroom. No, mushroom is growing in all the dirty place, moist place, under the Rajaguna Tamaguna. So, right? So that is the point. Okay. In all angle we have seen, even speak about sorry, Prabhu. Oh, Tiruvallavar, yes. In Tirukural, yes. So Prabhu is giving me some points. So you see, Tirukural. Even in Tirukural, நம்ம தமிழன் சொல்றோம் the real Tamilan in Tiruvalluvar, in Tirukkural, he have dedicated a whole chapter against animal killing. அது நம்ம பேசணும்னா இன்னும் ஒரு அவர் பேசலாம். திருக்குறள் வந்து நம்ம மாமிசம் உண்ணக்கூடாதுன்றது இருக்கு. முதல்ல இவர் என்ன பண்றாரு, அகர முதல் எழுத்தெல்லாம் ஆதி பகவான் முதற்சே உலகு, பகவானுக்கு பிரணாம் பண்றாரு, கிருஷ்ணருக்கு பிரணாம் பண்றாரு. So that is for these things. I'm just sharing also these points. Okay, any other questions before we end? Before I pass the session to Prabhu, Tarana Prabhu.
Just want to make a point here, Prabhu, regarding people complaining, why are you doing wasting milk, doing abhishek for deities, pouring all kind of fluids and everything. So actually what they should be more concerned is what they are eating. If you want to see, they say, instead of pouring milk there, why don't you go and give the poor people? So the key is, by taking meat, you're actually causing world hunger. You're a contributing factor. So if you stop meat eating, then we can come and discuss the next step, which is whether we should pour milk or not pour milk. Right? That is the next point.
Very, very, very nice point, Prabhu. Thank you. So yes, very valid. Nowadays people are asking, so நீங்க என்ன போய் விக்கிரகத்துக்கு பால் ஊத்துறீங்க, எவ்வளவு வேஸ்டேஜ் ஆகுது, நீ முதல்ல சினிமா போறது, எஸ்ட்ரோ பாக்குறது, இதெல்லாம் முதல்ல நிப்பாட்டலாம், சரிங்களா? அது அந்த காசை வச்சு நம்ம ஃபீட் பண்ணுங்க, அப்புறம் நம்ம வரலாம் அர்ச்ச விக்கிரகத்துக்கு, சரிங்களா? முதல்ல மீட் ஈட்டிங் நிப்பாட்டுங்க, ரைட்? That's what Prabhu is telling. Meat eating-நால you're causing many people to starve. We have seen just now the evidence. அதான் எவிடன்ஸ். நம்ம பகவானுக்கு பால் ஊத்துறதுனால அது நம்ம அப்புறம் பேசலாம், இதை ஷட்டில் பண்ணுங்க, அதான் பாயிண்ட். So yes, so you must know all these answers, so that when someone asks you, you can immediately cut. Okay, so any other questions, any other sharing, any other points? Okay, so if there is no other questions, we will end the discussion. Hope to see Professor Mataji again in the next session. Very, very happy to have this session, sharing session. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much to you. And before everyone leaves, please fill up the survey form. We have already shared that Google form in the chat box. So we want to know how much it has impacted you, how much you have understood, okay? Because we want to further improve. So please don't miss that. Please fill up that Google form. And not only that, this recording will be available at this ISKCON Ipoh YouTube channel. So after this, I'll be uploading into that. So you can check out ISKCON Ipoh YouTube channel. So you can go there, you can find this recording. And please do us a favor. This is a very important. I believe that all of you are staying until now. We have 31 people. So 31 people, that means that you are very convinced with whatever Dr. Pariksit have already shared just now. All right. It is very informative, very scientific, and it's logic. All right. People think that religion is sentiment, but today he presented everything with full of logic and evidence, scientific evidence, the modern scientific evidence. Okay. So do us a favor. Please share the video to all your friends, family and friends. Let's create an awareness. All right. So today we have 30 people, 30 of you here. So if each can share at least to a group, if 3 people can get convinced with this message, so we can make a better place. All right. devoid of this cruelty against animal. Okay. So we will, and since it's a series, so later I will discuss with Dr. Pariksit and say that even we can, whether we can do more program, all right, based on scientific evidence and health wise. All right. So so on behalf of ISKCON Ipoh Bhakti Yoga Center, I would like to thank and offer my humble obeisances, Dandavat, to His Grace Dr. Pariksit Prabhu from Kuching, and also to all the devotees assembled here, and also the well-wishers and those who are seekers for new knowledge. Okay. So thank you so much, Prabhu. It's been a great pleasure to have you with us today. And in fact, my wife and my children are all sitting here and watching this thing. You have opened their eyes, especially on mushroom and mock meat. I've been telling them, but they don't seem to be convinced. So I believe that you have convinced them.
That is the biggest problem than meat eating.
Yeah, exactly. I really can't tolerate these two, but they just liked it. You know, I just, oh my God. And of course, durian and patai.
I mean, we can speak more on that, maybe in a different session. On
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. So, okay. So all, thank you so much. And once you receive that, once you see that YouTube channel, please like it and please share so that we can be highlighted. All right. With that, thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyacha, kripa sindhudevacha, paritanam pavanebhyo, Vaishnavyo namo namah. Hare Krishna and good night. Have a nice day. Bye.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Gauranga.